This is Nate Bryant in Applied Safety Engineering. Took this class in the fall of 2022. Today I will be giving you a presentation and I'll be discussing the OSHA 1910 Subpart S electrical and focusing on the 1910-305, the wiring methods, the components, and the equipment for the general use. Provisions of this section do not apply to the conductors that are an integral part of the factory assembled equipment. OSHA 1910-305A, the wiring methods. Wiring methods consist of metal raceways, cable trays, enclosures, frames, and the other metal non-current carrying parts that serve as grounding conductors, with or without the use of supplementary equipment. Grounding conductors shall be effectively bonded where necessary to ensure electrical continuity. In the top picture there, you see junction at two solar panels that have a properly fastened bonding jumper between the two panels, so that if the two panels become mechanically separated, the continuity bond will be intact. In the second picture there, you see a cable tray that has multiple splices that have no visible bonding jumpers installed between the splices. OSHA 1910-305A2, talking about temporary wiring. Temporary electric power and lighting may only be used for remodeling, maintenance, or repair of buildings, structures, or equipment, and similar activities. No temporary branch circuit conductors may be laid on the floor ever. That's a no-no. In the top picture, we see a temporary power distribution panel and transformer with all the cables laid out on the ground where people can walk and possibly trip over them. On the bottom picture, you can see a better installation of the temporary panel setup. All the conductors are in conduct and our cable tray assembly to protect the cable and people working around the site. OSHA 1910-305B, cabinets, boxes, and fittings. Conductors entering cutout boxes, cabinets, or fittings shall be protected from aspiration, and openings through which conductors enter shall be effectively closed. Unused openings in cabinets and boxes and fittings shall be effectively closed always. In the top picture, what you see there is electrical switch box that has not been properly installed. Looks like they have left out on conduit openings. And in the bottom picture, we see an outlet box that has been properly installed and has all the conduit openings properly closed and intact. OSHA 1910-305B2, talking about covers and canopies. It says all boxes shall provide a complete enclosure for the contained conductors or cables. So it says there should be a box that you can fit everything into. That way it protects it from getting damaged. It says all boxes shall be closed by suitable covers securely fastened in the right place. In the top picture, what you see there is an electrical junction box that has been installed without a cover. Someone has installed the wiring so you could not install a cover on it. In the bottom picture, we see an electrical junction box has been properly installed with the cover correctly intact the way that it should be. OSHA 1910-305F. Conductors for general wiring. All conductors used for general wiring shall be insulating unless otherwise permitted. So unless anybody says so, they should be insulated. The conductor insulation shall be a type that is approved for the voltage, operating temperature, and the location of use. Insulated conductors shall be distinguishable by appropriate color or the other suitable means as being grounded conductors, ungrounded conductors, or equipment grounding conductors. While the OSHA regulations and the National Electrical Code does not have a specific set color code, there is an industry standard that electricians follow. In the top pictures, we see a set of freedom cables that have been properly installed and identified. Brown, orange, yellow with a gray neutral is the industrial standard for the 480 277 volt 3-phase system. While on the bottom picture we see the system identified by the colors red, orange, and black. They may not be against the code, but it is against the industrial standard that should be black, red, and blue for the 240 120 volt 3-phase system. The OSHA 1910-305G. This slide says flexible cords and cables. Flexible cords and cables shall be approved for the conditions of use and location. Flexible cords and cables shall be connected to the vise and fittings so that the strain relief is provided that will prevent pull from being directly transmitted to joints or terminal screws. What you see there in the top picture is not really anything wrong, but if the cables were hanging vertically, like in the bottom picture, the cables do not have proper strain relief so that the cable does not get damaged or the terminations inside the box gets damaged from pulling on the cable. In the bottom pictures, the illustration shows the proper way to install reliefs so that the cable nor the terminations get damaged. The OSHA 1910-305J. This slide says for equipment for general use. A receptacle installed in a wet or damp location shall be suitable for the location. Should be the right one for that location. So if it's damp or if it's wet, there's two different ones. A receptacle in a wet location where the product intended to be plugged into it is not intended while in use shall have an enclosed that is weatherproof with the attachment plug cap inserted or removed. While both of these outlets are legal to use in damp locations, only the cover in the top picture can be utilized in a wet location. To define the difference between a damp location, it is a location that has access to ambient humidity, but it is the location where direct water will not get to it. That is where the plug cover in the bottom picture can be used. A wet location is anywhere direct water can be present, and that is why you must use the outlet cover in the top picture in those locations. And this pretty much concludes all of my presentation for the OSHA 1910 Subpart S Electrical. Thank you and have a very nice day.